White's going to re-sign.
Mm-hmm.
The Falls are free agent next year. Middle World Peace probably won't be coming back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Nash will be 40 soon. It's very, the Lakers' future right now is very bleak. Right now, it looks really short term, with Dwight and Kobe and then Tony and Nash now, but we don't know how it's going to look, 2 years from now. And then Tony has a 4-year deal, so we will see. I think short term, it's a nice piece, but long term, I don't know.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like we said, if the Lakers can get some type of infusion of youth, maybe like you said, dangle Gasol on the trading block. It might be a little bit unpopular, but they tried to do it last year. A lot of people were thinking about where could he possibly go in order for them to get a younger player that could really help because, like you said, right now no bench, pretty much a lack of defense, and youth is also going to be a huge problem too. And it's just going to be a little bit
tough. I've heard reports of them dangling the fall out for Josh Smith. So, you don't know how true those reports are, but that would be an interesting dynamic for the Lakers to have a stud like Josh Smith, somebody that can stretch the floor and play defense. He's an athlete.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and to pair him with Dwight Howard would be a pretty solid front court. Since he can play power forward, small forward, it's pretty impressive. So we'll see how that goes.
And the other interesting thing about that is, well, I guess they both played before in high school too. So that'll help out a whole lot too.
Right. So the Lakers right now, as always, they're an interesting team to watch and follow. This is really interesting. We're talking basketball. What are your surprises so far this NBA season?
So far, my surprises have been, I'm pretty much surprised that, Chicago's doing pretty good right now without, doing as good as they are doing without Derrick Rose. Again, it's pretty shocking here that the Knicks right now are 4-0. Even though I did pick them to be fourth place in the East right now, looks like they're kind of paying me off right now, but for making that decision, huh?
What was that, Lamar?
I said I said the Knicks right now being 4-0 look like they're right now they're paid. I guess they're really making me look good for picking them fourth in the East, huh?
Yeah, Knicks right now on a high start. I give them credit because I didn't expect them to start off this high. They look pretty good. They have a very defensive-minded core. Raymond Felton has played he's played beyond expectations. He's playing very well. I think some kids, giving them this veteran presence. They have one of the oldest benches I've seen in a while with kids, Marcus Camby, Kurt Thomas, and Rasheed Wallace. But they're producing, so that's all that matters. It's going to be interesting to see how they play when Amari comes back. I'm not sure how that's going to work since him and Melo tend to not bump heads, but their style clash.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. I've heard reports of the Knicks shopping Amari, but it's going to be hard to shop Amari with two bad dudes, a bad back, a bad eye, and $100 million contract. So we don't know how accurate those reports are. We don't know if anybody's going to be willing to take all that baggage in that contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed. I didn't even have them as the best team in New York, but they're proving me wrong. They're proving some people wrong. We'll see how this streak continues, but it's pretty impressive.
Oh yes, most definitely. Well, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. We'll talk a little bit more about the NBA, and after that segment, we're actually gonna get our special guest, Evan Barnes, on the line. This is the Gafford and Brown Show, and we're about to be on the commercial break. We're about to get on. All right, we're back on with the Gafford and Brown Show. Once again, we're talking a little bit about the NBA. We talked about the Lakers a little bit earlier. We're also going to, like I said before the break, we're going to have our special guest, Evan Barnes, on the show right after this segment. But right now, we're talking about all the other all the other stuff that's around in the league right now, like surprising teams and stuff. And we had talked about the Knicks a little bit about before they got ready to go. About the Knicks before we got on the commercial break. Um, who has been your surprise team though, Rob?
Uh, the Milwaukee Bucks. I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks right now. I like the front court with Dalvin there. I like the way Brandon Jennings has stepped up. Could be an early candidate for most improved player with the way he's been playing. They look pretty good. They've got they're over 500. They look solid. They're like a possible 8 seed, lower seed in the East. I also like the Cleveland Cavaliers. They played hard all season. Very competitive. They've got a bright future. This is a team that was in shambles after LeBron left. And now with Kyrie Irving, Tristan Thomas, a veteran presence in Barrett's house, they look like they have an identity. Byron Staff's doing a great job with those guys. They hustle every night. I haven't seen them get blown out yet. I mean, I watched them play the Clippers not too long ago, and they beat the Clippers by, I think, 10. I mean, it was a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them pretty convincingly. So, I'm impressed with the Clippers. I mean, with the Cavs. I'm also impressed with the Clippers, a team that I had high expectations for. I expected them to play well, but looking at some, plays, other than, looking at paper, they look pretty good, especially with the depth they have. Jamal Crawford, who looks like a high candidate for 6 man a year,
Mm-hmm.
he's coming off the bench, constantly putting them high numbers. They have Lamar Odom, who's still trying to find his game. I think he's going to hit his stride probably before All-Star break or after All-Star break. But he's still trying to find his stride. They have Bledsoe, who's playing well. Willie Green, a good off-season acquisition. DeAndre is stepped up. He has a better all-around game now. He's not just dunking and tipping in. He actually has a hook shot now. I'm very impressed by his development. The Sacramento Kings, although they don't have the record,
Mm-hmm.
I've watched them play. They have a bright future right now. Could be a team that might make some noise. Obviously, the James Harden explosion caught a lot of people off guard. Didn't necessarily catch me off guard, but it was impressive nevertheless. And that's pretty much some of my list of surprises right now. What about you, Lamar?
Well, I have to also say here, I like the way Cleveland's playing right now. I got a chance to see some of their games. Like you said about the Clippers game, that was a pretty good game here. Looking at them, Kyrie Irving really looks like he is going to be one of the bright young point guards in the league right now. He's pretty much everything is advertised. The Clippers, though, as you had mentioned about the Clippers, they really do look like a very, very, very good sleeper team here that probably could make some noise in the playoffs this year because they have some very good depth. And right now, it's amazing they're doing this without Chauncey Billups, who's still hurt, and Grant Hill, who's also hurt as well. I mean, their depth is pretty amazing right now. I was surprised. I'm actually surprised right now that the Minnesota Timberwolves are doing as well as they are doing right now.
Right.
Considering that they don't have Kevin Love and they don't have Ricky Rubio, and they're still 4-2 right now. I mean, that's been a very huge surprise for me.
Right. I forgot to mention the Orlando Magic won a game before the Lakers. That was a surprise as well.
Oh yeah.
I didn't expect them to have 2 wins this early. And the Bobcats, they also won before the Lakers. They're 2-3.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And got to give the Bobcats some props because I actually saw the Charlotte Dallas game. I think it was Saturday. The Charlotte got their first win all time against the Mavericks. But one thing that really stood out to me on the box score is that they have a very good young core with Kemba Walker and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I think Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, MKG had 25 and 12, and it's amazing that he was doing that at a very young age, 19 years old, and you're doing this. and Kemba Walker had like 8 steals in the game. So both of those things really have surprised me. I mean, I know Charlotte might not be going anywhere this year, but the future's bright for Michael Jordan's team. You gotta say that.
Right, right. They have a bright future, and they're only going to get better.
Yep.
So,
I think
yeah,
another. What you about to say? Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just thinking about some of the other teams that we probably have that's in there too. Um, Let me see. You had also mentioned about Sacramento. If they can ever get if they can ever get the like a kind of a little bit of a veteran presence right there, and uh they will be pretty good. It's just been so amazing so far this season. Denver's really bounced back from a 0-3 start to now 4-3, and well, again, I kind of still have them as like a little bit of a dark horse in the West. Uh, my other question here too is, see, it's been a while since we had a show, uh, and we've also mentioned about Houston getting James Harden. Does that put Houston probably in the mix in the playoffs now? A little bit more in the mix since they got Harden, or what do you think?
It makes them better. It makes them more fun to watch. But I don't see them making the playoffs because outside of James Harden's explosion, no one else is really contributing, and those games that he went off in were still decided by by less than 5 points. So
Hmm.
I mean, time will tell, but I just don't see them actually being a playoff contender anytime soon. Maybe next season if they can acquire some more pieces. It's time will tell, but right now, no. They're in a hard division with Southwest with the Spurs, Memphis, and New Orleans and Dallas. They're at the bottom of it right now. They're at 500, but I just can't see them making the playoffs right now. Too many teams at that bottom half that, at the lower parts of the Western Conference, I see being better, like Utah or Minnesota when Love and Rubio gets back.
Hmm.
I think Golden State is better than them. I think the Kings are better than them in the long run. I just don't see them making that leap to get into the playoffs or get close to the 8 seed. I see them on the outside looking in, but they're definitely more fun to watch, and they're going to be talked about now that they have a superstar like Harden.
Hmm.
They just need more, people around them to step up and, contribute.
Yes, because I remember we talked about the team a little bit before we actually did our preview and said they were going to be fun to watch, even with the rookies and Jeremy Lin. And I think they're going to be a little bit more fun to watch now that they got James Harden, and he's really done a whole good job right now. And well, with having those amazing games to start off, he's kind of cool. It kind of cooled down because once teams started to figure you out a little bit more, being that number one scoring option is a little bit different than being third and coming off the bench when he was doing when he was with OKC. I, I kind of think I kind of thought that Houston was probably could be going to be in the mix, and when I saw those first 2 games from him, I was tempted to really put them in the 8 seed. I still kind of am tempted to do that, mostly because I just felt a little bit bad for them for being in the same position for the past 3 years, being so good to consider yourself to be in the too good, too good to be a lottery team, but then again, just a little bit shy to be a playoff team, and that's kind of the worst situation to be in right now. And I kind of just wanted to see them get into the playoffs, so I could just see some, I guess some bragging rights and all that stuff going on the line and everything.
Right. And at the time, I think they just I think they're just a little underdeveloped in terms of their players around them. I see them